Live.
Hello, my fellow ghouls, goblins, witches, warlocks, and all other manner of eldritch horrors, to this second and final part of A Bunch of American Werewolves in London, a Monster of the Week game. This is my first time DMing, well, second time technically, but first time DMing a two-parter. I'm very excited, I'm very nervous, and I will pass it on to my lovely players, which I'll check the screen so you can see it. Why don't we shoot over to Emma first? Introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Emma. I use she, her pronouns, and you can find me at MK Hansen over on the Twitter sphere. And today I am back with Charlotte Everdeen, who is a bit of a well, she's a ghost, but she's a ghost werewolf. Really, is how it goes.
Excellent. Apparently we're quite quiet, so I don't know how to change that.
That's on my end mostly.
So yes.
Just a second. Try this.
Okay.
Much better.
Good, good, good.
Yay!
Good,
So,
good, good.
Emma, do you want to redo your one just in case chat didn't hear pronouns and everything?
Sure. So I am Emma. I use she, her pronouns. And I today I am playing Charlotte Everdeen from the Monsters playbook. And she's a spoopy ghost werewolf. And we're quiet again. I don't know what that means. Hello.
This is a Oh yeah, it's gone quiet again.
I don't understand. Well, my volume comes through different than everyone else's because I'm running tech, but I boosted Zoom.
Apparently you're the loudest, Alexis,
Yeah.
and everyone else is quiet.
Right, because my volume comes in differently than all of yours. But I have desktop audio set to its full volume.
Good.
So, and I just cranked Zoom some more. So,
How do we sound now, everybody?
this bugs me because it was fine last week.
Hello.
Just waiting for my thing to catch up. Waiting for it to catch up.
I think we're doing really, really
It
great.
sounds
Good.
Yeah, Val, you sounded almost exactly at volume when I heard you twice. I think you're good.
We did it.
We did it.
Well, Alexis did it.
Are we better?
Alexis did it.
Okay. All right. Cool. Great. Good. Are we still okay? Can everyone sound off again?
Do.
I'm gay.
Oh yeah.
Hi everybody. I am also
Okay,
just
good.
noticing that Anders and I need to be flippity floppitied on
Oh no!
play.
I'm so sorry. You're right.
I can't do that.
Are you sure?
Well,
We're doing great. We're doing
I
great.
could do a little bit of a southern drawl for a little bit.
This is streaming.
You should be okay now.
It's good.
The big bad is always the tech.
That's right.
We're all good now, yes?
I think so.
I think, yeah.
Cool. Perfect. All right. Great.
One thank you at the start of the stream for Alexis, who is running tech and doing, like, who is sorting all of this and just being true MVP of everything.
That's
you
right.
know.
Thank you so much.
I'm doing my best over here.
You're doing amazing. Thank you so much for doing that. I think, yeah, everyone's sound is good, apparently, according to, okay.
We're good.
We're good. We got this.
Yeah.
Go team. Go stream.
All right.
All right. So, I think one more time, Emma.
Hi. If you don't know who I am, you should probably follow me on Twitter because I'm pretty great. I use she, her pronouns. I'm playing Charlotte. She's spooky. Thanks.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. We go to Anders.
Hello, I'm Anders. You can find me at Anders_D_K on the internet. I use he, him pronouns, and tonight I'm playing Jackson Foster, who is a cowboy and also a werewolf, and he also uses he, him pronouns. That's it.
Okay, and we're going to shoot across to Matthew.
It's me. Hi, I'm Matthew Foreman. I am at Matthew W. Foreman on Twitter. I use he, him pronouns. I will be playing Elias Raysnarl, who also uses he, him pronouns.
And finally, Alexis.
Hi, I'm Alexis. I'm at Vox Venato on the Twitter sphere and all that good shit. I use she, her pronouns, and my character, Tori, also uses she, her pronouns. She is a very feral werewolf who is just ready to get her claws out.
Excellent, excellent. Quick recap from last time. These intrepid adventurers arrived in London in the search of one of the missing pack members, Maya. They made their way through the Victorian streets of London, finding clues in an old inn, and making their way to a fey den where they were confronted by several past events. It was a very emotional thing for me as a DM to watch, and you all did great. And they finally made their way out of the illusions that the Fays had presented to them, and finally found Maya, who was asleep in the Fey den, being protected by her friend Serwyn from going back into the house, where apparently she is going to die. As we return to this scene in front of us, Maya has awoken. She has a cup of tea. Don't ask where she got it from, it's just there. And y'all are gathered round. What's the scene like for everyone in the room?
All right. Well, I think that Charlotte is probably sitting on the edge of the bed. I know that I believe Jackson actually got up there as well in wolf form. So I am sort of like, I found a little bit of space on the edge of the bed, and I'm just kind of like sitting there and trying to make, like, I guess I'm kind of trying to read the room and read both the people in my group and also sort of read the sprites or they're fairies. Are they fairies that are in the room? Yeah, I think that's probably what I am doing. Cautiously reading things.
I would say that Jackson's a very large wolf, so probably has moved off the bed just because just the body mass might be so much that no one else could sit on the bed, nor could Maya fit on the bed if Jackson was up on the bed in wolf form. So he is still a wolf, but just on the floor, maybe just resting like his head on the bed near where Maya's hand is, so maybe he can get some pets.
Maya is definitely, as soon as your head moved there, she lay her hand over your head and is just gently stroking your fur.
I would be in the foreground, up against perhaps leaning on an armoire or just against the wall, watching everything, slinking in the shadows.
Very Elias mood. Tori, what are you doing?
Tori is still shifted into wolf, and Tori is very feral right now. Oh, there we go. That's why music was so low. Hopefully music is better now. Tori is, in a very aggressive body language, still has not calmed down from that little experience, and is basically positioning herself between all of the fairies, all the fae, and her group.
As you come back, the fae, who are Serwyn the youngest, Tilly the middle, and Kelder is the eldest, are on one side near the wall, giving the two shifted werewolves, even the calmer Jackson, a wide berth. And as you come back to the scene with everyone in it, Maya just petting the top of Jackson's head, she looks around you all and she recognizes Jackson, and she probably recognizes Charlotte, Elias, and Tori. She doesn't really know you and just kind of looks and's like, so, why are you... how long have I been away?
Quite a while.
I was just asleep. I don't remember. I don't remember coming here. I'm sorry. Thank you. And she looks at Elias and Tori. You guys, folks, thank you.
That's Elias, and that's Tori. I'm gonna look over at the fairies, so she doesn't remember coming here.
The youngest one, Serwyn, who put my under, is like,
the fey dust can have a slight effect. Just a touch of amnesia. It will go away in time. A couple of hours or so, and she should be right as rain, I promise.
I will look back at Maya. So, Maya, it sounds like you have some unfinished business here.
yeah. I really didn't want you guys to know about this. It's my fault. It's my fault this is all happening. I ran away. And I did a cowardly thing. And now other people are paying for it, and I should be the one that's paying for it, and I tried. to go and do it, but apparently somebody, and she looks at Selwyn, intervened. Full disclosure, technically, as of a few months ago, I am now Lady Lucin of the Lucin estate.
Excuse me?
Yeah, so it's my mother who's doing this. She, it's always an older man. It's always a 20-year-old younger man, and it's always me. She always takes our family because we're not there anymore. And some part of her, when she died or before she died, never accepted this and just is taking people and trying to replace us. And she started with dolls, and then the dolls weren't enough, so she started taking people. And she's doing it because of me. Because when I was younger, we went on a trip to Scotland, and my mother, she couldn't come. She stayed behind, and there was this wolf that came out of nowhere, and just there was my dad, my father, and my brother just didn't move in time, and you know what I mean. The things happened, and then it came for me, but then this pack of wolves, and they stopped him, and they saved me, and they took me all the way home. They took me to where we were staying, and they made sure I was safe and secure. And nobody believed me. My mother didn't believe me, not until I changed. And then afterwards, she just became obsessed with fixing me, with making me better. And I didn't know how to tell her that I felt happier as a wolf than I ever had as just a human, and I didn't need to be fixed or cured, but whenever she looked at me, she just saw the things that had taken everything she loved. And how could I tell her that I loved who I was when the thing that I loved was the thing that had taken everything she cared about? I wasn't brave enough, so I just ran. I just ran away. I ran back to the pack that had helped me, and they were going to America, and I just got on the boat with them. And now all of this is happening. And it's my fault. If I had stayed and I had talked to her.
I think some people are gonna see what they want to see, no matter what you say to them. And that was already in her long before any of that ever happened. You can't take that burden on yourself. Something would have happened.
I just wanted a place where I could be myself and not upset anyone, and I didn't know how to tell her that I liked being a werewolf and that this was what made me feel powerful and strong and like I could take on anything. And I couldn't find the words to say that.
You were a kid. You can't fault yourself for that. And you don't get to pick your family. You just get them. And sometimes you keep them, and sometimes you don't. So, you know that we're your family, and we will always accept you as you are.
I can't believe you guys came for me.
Tori's gonna shift out. Put a corset back on and such. And just kind of stride on over. I think this might be the time for me to say, hi, I'm Tori. Nice to see you're alive.
Maya, I like your corset.
Thanks. Helps keep all the loose-fitting clothing less loose-fitting. You know, the whole shifting thing.
Yeah, finding clothing to accommodate that is new experience. Ish.
It's got these neat little quick release clasps on it. It's like,
Quick,
yeah.
they got quick release clasps?
Oh yeah. How do you think I get this thing on and off so fast?
I was wondering. I had a lot of questions, to be honest with you. I was making like a mental list after all this was finished because I didn't think this was the time.
Got a lot of answers for later.
I really like her.
She's a little rough around the edges, but she's quite nice.
Don't tell anyone you said that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's right. So...
I'm gonna lean over and give Jackson scritches on the top of the head and like right along the muzzle and say, "Do you think maybe you could join us now, buddy?"
Jackson will slowly shift back. And for a very large man, he seems very small, just sort of sitting there on the floor.
If Jackson is okay with it, Maya will give him a hug.
Well, I ain't gonna refuse a hug for someone who's in need.
And she's gonna hug you and just say, I have missed you so much.
You're the one who got on the boat. Sorry, that was an impolite joke to make. I missed you too. I apologize.
Next time I say I want to get on a boat to London, just chuck me in the ocean for a bit.
Well, I told you not to do it. I don't trust boats like this or a big old ocean.
No, it sucked. The boat sucked. It was
just downright terrible. Is what it was.
I threw up over the side at least 8 times. It was a whole experience.
Just gonna kind of wrap an arm around Maya and just sit there holding her.
So I'm really good at throwing people in oceans.
I think we should put a pin in that.
Okay.
Can I ask you guys a really maybe awkward question?
That's all I ever do.
Who is the guy staring at us in the corner who looks like he wants to eat us?
Oh yeah, he probably does. That's Elias.
Okay, good, because I was wondering about everything.
Yeah, I've been wondering about all that too, but he mostly seems mostly harmless, so I've just kind of.
Really, that's not the impression that I got.
I mean, he's tiny.
That
Don't let that deceive you.
I
That's
he-
danger in a small package right there.
he's kind of like me.
Well, that's true. You're right. I'm sorry. Just blushes.
Hello, Maya. I'm gonna take one step forward.
Oh.
I am, as they say, Elias Raysnarl.
Hi. Those are some very dapper goggles.
Thank you. They help me see.
That is always a plus.
If you don't mind, I am something of a physician. I could examine you to make sure you're all right. You are suffering from temporary, perhaps retrograde amnesia, as well as perhaps some aphasia, although you haven't presented with any conditions.
Maya's gonna look over to Charlotte, and Jackson is like, "Is he cool?"
I mean, he's done nothing yet
Okay.
to indicate otherwise.
Then, sure. I guess that'll be fine.
So should we like get the fuck out of here?
Kelder and Tilly look real interested in getting y'all out of here. They're like passively aggressively checking their watches.
Cause I have been here with these goddamn Fae long enough.
Yeah, they're not particularly inviting.
No. And I'm not feeling very hospitable myself.
Oh, we should get her out of here then.
All it is a bit of magic. I really don't know what all the fuss is about.
You hold your goddamn tongue if you want to live.
Of course, darling. You're in the garden now, though. Don't forget it.
Oh. Yeah, that's
Your
not something I'll be
passage out-
forgetting for a long time.
Your passage out requires our approval.
You want us to stay?
Well, you don't
That's
have
what I
to.
fucking thought. Let us go.
So, and show them out. They're giving me a headache. I have to go lie down.
Thank you for your strange and uncomfortable hospitality.
No.
Yes.
And Maya looks confused as y'all walk out because Maya only had good dreams.
I'm just gonna scoop her up. Take her out.
I'm a scoop her up. I believe that's a move in the
Yeah.
book. Scoop
Scoop her up.
Scoop her up, roll plus go. No, you scoop her up, and Maya is literally swept off her feet, and she's like, "Best day ever." Are you all leaving?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck
yeah.
yes.
For sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
As you leave, Elias, Kelda the eldest is going to tap you on the shoulder and be like,
You are a very interesting character. Should you ever be in need of the services of the garden, please don't hesitate to come back.
and she hands you a card.
Oh, thank you. I thought my dreams were rather pleasant.
They were illuminating in the most interesting of ways.
The past is nothing to be afraid of.
Not until it reaches out to bite you. Have a good time. Farewell now.
And she closes the door on your face. Selwyn leads you out. She is nervous around Maya, who is still in the arms of Tori.
That's right.
This is such a great image. And she lets you out of the garden into London, where it has just started to snow. It's falling very gently, about an inch thick. You feel like you've been inside the garden for longer than you expected. When it was just beginning to go into dusk, now it is full night, and the moon is in the sky. And as you walk out, Selwyn says,
Take care of her.
Don't you worry, little miss. We'll take good care of her, and my mama taught me to use my manners. So again, thank you for your hospitality and your weird mumbo jumbo magic stuff. Next time, perhaps you might ask folks if they want to go on some weird mind dream thing. I ain't got the vocab for what that was, but thank you for watching out for Maya.
I'll just remember that, you don't care about asking permission before performing acts on other people, so I'll remember that if we ever meet again. And I won't ask for permission.
Goodbye.
That's right.
and you are now on the streets of London. Your horse, Uber, is still tied up outside. You have a location of where the house is. What do you want to do?
Oh, hell, I named this horse and I don't remember what.
And it was Esther.
Yep.
That sounds like
That
something.
sounds right.
I'm gonna go pet Esther. Just make sure she's okay. She's been out here a while.
She kind of just goes, and she's fine. The cold hasn't affected her at all.
I still have
kinda
Maya in my arms. I
You
tilt
still
my
have
head
Maya.
back, and I catch a couple snowflakes on my tongue.
It's not where I thought it was going, but Maya is now slowly smitten by Tori. Tori just being Tori.
Yep. I like the snow.
There's snow, and as the snow falls, as you pet Esther and you catch snowflakes on your tongue, I asked you guys I said this again. What do you guys want to do? But I've already said that, so I'm trying to find a different way to phrase it. What yeetith do you guys want to take?
In what manner dost thou yeet?
Oh my god, I want that on a t-shirt.
My first opinion right here in this here situation is to get you back to safety and head home. But I got me a nasty little feeling that you're gonna refuse efforts on that part.
She kind of nods and signals to Tori to lower her out of her arms, and and she just says, "I can't go back. Once I've done this, she'll keep going and going and going and hurting people, and I can't let anyone die for me."
Cool, I've never killed a ghost before.
She's technically, I've been investigating this a little bit. She's technically called a wraith.
Oh, no.
This will be fun. That's what we're doing, right? We're gonna go kill a wraith.
I know I should do this by myself, but if you're offered to help, I would not say no.
We can't actually let you do that by yourself. You would die.
I mean, I am already all the way over here.
You did kind of come all the way. Oh my god, Matthew's background change.
Matthew!
I'm so sorry. I'm like, what? That's beautiful. I love it.
It's
now I'm gonna recover from Matthew's
fantastic.
background.
Oh my god. thing of beauty.
It really is glorious.
I was trying.
There
Oh
it
my
is.
god. Oh,
Just
Woo.
horrifying.
yes. Everyone, the Matthew Foreman experience.
It's right here. It's happening right before our eyes.
It really is.
To go on tour. The Matthew Foreman experience, the experience.
Catch him at PAX.
Catch him at PAX U. So, when you say fighting, Ma kind of said, I was hoping to reason with her. When you can't destroy her as she is. If you kill her now, she just comes back, and she comes back stronger, apparently. People have tried. I have a plan. When I went to the house the first time, I barely got out, but I did notice the pictures and the mirrors are all broken and smashed. I think if I show her a picture or portrait of what she's lost, she'll realize this and just come to some sort of terms about it. We might be able to do this peacefully. I know it's a slim chance, but guns and knives, they're not gonna work on her. Only iron and magic will work.
Oh.
Is my knife made of iron? Just curious what a knife would be made of.
I think I'm going to tell you from a DM purpose that magical attacks and weapons are effective, and so is iron and rock salt.
I've got a shotgun.
my-
Can we just throw some rock salt into that?
Yes, but she will come back, and just keep on going.
I think there's a. Is there a? Do you have a music box as a kid, like a little thing to do, and it just played the song when you wound it up? Was that a? Did you have one of those?
I didn't tell you about that, did I?
Well, no, you didn't mean to. Weird magic mumbo jumbo things showed me things. Lots of things. But not lots of things about you, more lots of things about me, which was terribly non-enjoyable and extremely. Did you have one of those?
I remember being home. I remember bits and pieces that I don't know.
I just I ask because when we're out there out in the mountains on our own, and we're trying to deal with something that's, you know, stalking the herd or whatnot. Sometimes a noise-based distraction's real good to bring out your predator that you want to turn into your prey.
As you say this,
The sound. Oh no.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
Oh no.
you notice that the snow is falling, but everything is suddenly so much colder, and your breath starts coming out in slow mist. And a mist begins to fall across you, and you see behind Maya, through this mist, these claws come, and they wrap around her, and then in a swirl of dark grey mist, Maya is gone.
Okay, well, that's not good.
The temperature starts to rise again.
Just as it's doing that, Charlotte's gonna like shake her head, and when she opens her eyes, you can see that they're completely white, and she's like just barely hovering off the ground. And I'm gonna use the sight. Do I see anything here?
You see, as soon as you do this, you feel a grip around your arm, and you see the old woman you were speaking to earlier. And she is trembling and terrified, and she says, "It's come again."
Where?
House. She always takes him to the house. Run away. Go. And then she disappears.
I will come back and I will look at everybody and say, we have to go to the house now. There's not, we can't. We have to go now.
Well, just one moment. I'm going to look for anything reflective, any kind of reflective surface.
You see a slight pool of ice and mirror.
A mirror?
Like a slight pool of ice that looks like a mirror. Words are hard.
Oh. Okay. Well, I was looking for something hopefully I could take with me. Never mind. Let's go.
I have a. Do you say anything about what you're looking for? As
Yes.
You
I'm going to say I'm looking for a mirror.
I have a locket. One half of it is a small mirror.
Okay, that could work. May I borrow it to use magic?
Will I get it back?
Yes. I mean, as long as the spell goes okay.
Well, I'm dead anyway. What does it matter? And I will hand him my locket that I have around my neck.
Thank you.
I will actually grab it back and I will take out the photo of my brother and sister that are in it and then hand it back.
Oh, thank you. Much better. But just keep that with my occult stuff. Let's go.
I don't have the basic move sheet out on me, but it's I think Jackson's trying real hard right now to not wolf out again in this moment. Is there a keep your cool sort of move that I might be needing to roll right now?
Would say that would probably come under.
I
I think those
literally called keep your cool.
Or
yeah, act
is that
under
what it's called?
pressure.
This.
I think it is a plus cool roll, so roll plus cool, act under pressure.
It's not gonna be great, but that's a 2. I think I shifted to a wolf again.
Oh,
Yep.
no.
Luckily, you are in the dark. It is snowing, so there are not many people around when Jackson shifts into his wolf form again.
It might actually be faster if we all did that.
I will shift.
Quick release corset, shift.
Charlotte will shift. And her wolf is actually quite small. And it's kind of it's an awkward shift to watch because she'll shift into a wolf and then she'll shift back to herself and then she'll shift back into a wolf. Like she can't quite remember how to do it. And she is completely white, except for her eyes, which kind of seem to look like there's just these little wisps of smoke coming out of them, like kind of a gray smoke coming out of them. And she shifts back into Charlotte one more time, and then you can see her finally, and she's fully in wolf form.
So, did y'all make your way there in wolf form?
Real fast.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna say for the purposes of this, y'all stick to the shadows. It's a snowy night, not many people are out, and it is pretty dark. You make your way there. It takes you about 45-30 minutes at a full run to make it to the house. But you
I think.
Oh, go
Oh,
on,
go
Jackson.
ahead. Sorry.
No, you go, Jackson.
Oh, I was just gonna say that understanding wolf pack dynamics, Jackson would probably in most situations submit and be subservient to someone who's demonstrated themselves to be more alpha, like perhaps Tori. But I think in this
You
situation, if
rang.
Tori allows it, he's at the front.
Ooh. So, Tori allows it, then Jackson is leading this pack.
Tori understands that Jackson has a pretty good idea of how to track Maya, so yeah. That sounds good. But she's like right behind him.
So, you guys race across London, and you know when you've made it to the Lucin estate, both by smell and by the look of it. It's slightly out of the town on a more spacious area. There are walls around the entire property. There's an iron wrought gate that is locked tight. Inside, the front garden is twisting and overgrown. The house, which at one point was probably pretty nice, is now decaying with red brick and broken windows and ivy growing up the side of it. It looks like a place that has been abandoned for a lot longer than the few months. What do you guys want to do?
When you say wolves, do you mean you mean actual wolves are here?
Oh no, you guys are here.
Oh, okay.
Us wolves.
Another pack comes running out. No.
That's how I like interpret it. That's how I processed it in my head, and I was like, oh shit.
You said a fence of iron. That's old. Are there any broken iron, spiky bits from the top of the fence on the ground anywhere that I can grab?
There are definitely iron spiky bits.
I'm just gonna get a little iron spike and take it with me.
When Charlotte sees Jackson do that, she kind of steps a good 3 or 4 feet away.
Oh boy, howdy.
Knife dog.
Knife dog.
Elias is just going to go spectral and go slide through the fence.
No, mood. That is not the mood I want for this. We're going back to the other mood. You know when you're like, that's not the right mood. Get out of here. So, Elias is going spectral through the gate.
Mm-hmm.
And as Jackson has this iron bar. What are Tori and Charlotte doing?
Charlotte is gonna kind of pace back and forth in front of this iron gate and is kind of whimpering as she looks at it. And then she's gonna turn over and look at Tori.
Oh. Tori's gonna look for a latch on this gate to open it up.
There's a latch, but the chains that are wrapped around it are kind of locking it shut.
I'm gonna tear the chains off if I can.
Roll me some kick some ass.
Yeah. Okay. 13.
Wow. Okay. Oh. Yeah, you very successfully rip off this chain, and you get some options as well. You get enhanced effect, You completely hold the advantage. You'll hunt it, so you're not in a fight. Your attack inflicts your counter as an enemy route. I'm gonna say in this case, you rip off these chains, and this gate just kadunks, just falls right off. The force of your attack was so strong, you basically shattered and broke this giant rock gate off its hinges.
I just look back to Charlotte.
I'm gonna kind of do a weird puppy nod.
Aww.
Like a little like, oh, thanks. And then I am gonna tiptoe my way through it, being very careful not to touch any of it.
Yeah, I'm taking this. Is the chain iron or steel or what?
Chain be iron.
I'll take the chain.
Yes, we're armed with a spike and a chain. Okay, so you guys make your way into the front garden, all together. As you approach the house, you start to hear a soft wailing, moan, drifting, and at first it sounds like the wind, and then the steadiness of it is a constant humming wail that rises and falls in a gentle pitch. It sounds melodic, but also like someone is reaching inside your chest and gripping. Not actually, but the sound is very creepy. You suffer no harm. You guys approaching the door?
I want to use my large size to just smash through. Please.
Roll me some kick some ass.
Yeah, kicking ass. That's with tough, right?
Yeah.
Cool. That's a 9.
Excellent, excellent. So on that, you manage to get this door open. You kind of jar your shoulder a little bit. So you hit it with such force with your shoulder that it jars you for, say, 1 harm. But you do successfully open this door, and it looks really badass from the outside. As you kick in this door, a cloud of dust rises. Inside this house, you enter through, and there is a stairway with a balcony coming down on either side. A table rests in the center with a plant that is decayed and withered, with spiders crawling across it and cobwebs just plastering this house. And the wailing gets a little bit louder, coming from up those 2 stairs.
I snarl. My lips curled back as we enter in.
Before I start heading up the stairs, I am going to use the site one last time to see if there's anyone in here with us. I'm gonna... can I do it from wolf form? Or do I need to shift out to use it?
I'll say you can do it from wolf form.
Okay, so it looks kind of the same in wolf form, except I sit down. Do I see anyone here?
At first, you feel a resounding sense of complete emptiness. It's of something that is not just devoid of spirits, like there literally anything that had any life into it is being pulled. And you feel that kind of pull yourself, like you're being drained and pulled again towards the top of the stairs. And then out of the corner of your eye, you see a flicker of movement coming from outside the door. And you see a young-ish looking man. And he just looks at you and goes. And then he disappears.
Did I recognize him at all?
He looked. No, actually, you wouldn't. He.
Okay.
Again, as you notice and hear that all of the portraits, all the mirrors, all the faces are completely scratched out. And the floor is littered again with broken glass. So treading carefully is always a good idea.
When I get out of the site, I am going to shift back into Charlotte form, which takes a few tries. And I will try to make sure that the group can see me, and I'm gonna also tell them to be super quiet. And then I will. No, I'm probably more quiet in this form. I guess I start going up the stairs.
Tori will stay in wolf form and match pace with Charlotte.
There's 2 staircases, right?
There is. They go either side and then meet each other on a balcony.
I will move up the opposite staircase.
Elias,
Pace now.
do you
I
follow?
will. Yes, I'm going to linger behind in the back.
As you get to this balcony state, there are a pair of wooden doors. And to Jackson, they would look familiar. They're like the barn doors, but not like the ones that you know from your memory. They're from Maya's memory. Except they're shredded with claw marks.
I'm just gonna sort of hunch down low, my ears flatten, and just start to growl at those doors. Sort of scratch one paw with claws in the dirt. But I will wait. I will not barge in.
What's Charlotte doing at this point?
After getting to the top of the stairs, if I hear Jackson do that, then I will go over to Jackson. If would I have heard him sort of with the low growl and scratching? I don't know how big this is.
I mean, Jackson's pretty big, so like a low growl would have a pretty, I think, noticeable resonance. There's a word there for what I'm trying to say, and I'm not quite sure I know what it is.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Is there a door at the top of these stairs at all too?
Oh, at the top of these stairs, that's where the door is.
So wait, we went up and there's one door so like it wraps around and then it's okay. I thought we were at 2 different doors and then there was more. Got it.
No, it's real Dynasty coming down the stairs.
Got it. All right, cool. I am gonna go incorporeal and really slowly sink my face into the door just to the point where my eyes can finally see on the other side of it.
You go through, and as soon as you go incorporeal, you start to feel that pull again. And you see the other side, and it is a room which once would have been beautifully done. There is a well-dead Christmas tree in the corner with cracked ornaments. There is a big portrait in the back, a fireplace, which has a flame going in it.
Yikes.
There are children's toys all strewn around, and you notice dolls everywhere. They're the same kind of dolls China, they look like Maya. They look like the spirit that told you to be quiet earlier. They look like an older man, and sometimes their face is broken in, and it looks like someone has just thrown them aside. And the wailing keeps going, and the pull gets stronger. Y'all can leave. You can go if you want. Go get ice cream.
No. All right, I will pull back out, and I will stop being incorporeal, and I will very quietly, under my breath, say, "That is not something I should do in here. This is not a safe place for any spirit."
I think we should find the room with the piano. That's where she brought us. I think that's where her pain lives.
I will say that in this room of scattered dolls, there was something that glinted. You just saw it out of the corner of your eye for a moment.
I will very slowly open the door just wide enough so that the largest of us can get through. And I will gingerly walk in and try to see what the thing was that glinted.
I will follow in behind very closely.
Yep, I'm sticking with Charlotte.
So, I say this might be an act under pressure roll. Roll plus cool.
Are you
good.
cool, Charlotte? Are you cool?
I'm a
Cool.
little cool. This isn't great, y'all. I got a 5. That's a failure.
Poor boy, howdy.
Real bad failure.
It
Actually.
sure is experience.
So yeah, mark experience.
Goody.
So, what happens? You very gingerly open this door, and as you do, you hear
Oopsie.
the wailing stops abruptly.
Shit.
But you do manage to get inside.
Not great. It's not great.
But every time that someone else follows, it's the of the door, which hasn't been oiled in a really long time.
Yeah.
Okay, but the shiny thing in here.
So the shiny thing in here, you see scattered amongst the broken pieces of china and dolls, is a music box.
Everybody's faces.
I was like, yeah.
I will pick it up. And I will slowly turn around to the group.
I will sniff it.
It smells like Maya, and Jackson, you would recognize it as the music box from the vision.
Did I happen to see how to activate it? Activate it? How to...
How does one activate this?
There is a thumbprint lock.
Dorian toy.
There is a little mechanism at the back which you turn.
It's probably a really bad place to do that. Also, I'm a wolf right now, so I probably can't. Okay.
No opposable thumbs.
Nose. Use my nose. No. Okay. Oh, I will just sort of push it closer to Charlotte's chest with my forehead, just like, that's important. Hold on to that sort of movement. Are there any other doors or anything in this room? Other way to go?
There are doors to the either side. One of them is slightly ajar, the one to the right, and the one to the left is closed.
I will peek my head through the closed door using my spectral ability.
As soon as you go spectral, you, Elias, feel that pull. And what you see on the other side of this door is a dinner table. And it's set, and there are candles lit. And the food is completely rotten. There are flies buzzing around it. And sat at this dinner table is an older man who looks gaunt and pale and is completely frozen to his seat, like he cannot move. Next to him is a younger man in the same condition, slightly healthier, as if only recently coming here. And then at the head of the table is Maya. Her face as well is frozen, all of them stuck with these smiles on their faces, but their eyes with looks of terror.
I'm going to pull my head slightly out. I'm going to whisper, Maya's in here. It looks like she's attending a very unpleasant dinner party. And then I'm going to step through the door and enter the dining room.
I'm going to
As you
try
s-
to follow. Can
As you-
I, as a wolf, open the door?
You can. It will be an act under pressure roll.
Oh, gosh. Jackson doesn't do well under pressure.
Him and
That's
Tori
not
both.
good at. That's a 10.
Hey!
Yay!
He says Maya in there.
On a 10, you set out to do what you wanted to do. So you open this door, it's very quiet. As you go through, you hear the sounds of her piano start to play. And a gentle humming of a woman's voice. And it's almost soothing, but the same kind of wailing melody that you heard out front. And you're able to slip into this room unnoticed. But the humming is getting slowly closer and closer.
I want to make my way over to Maya. If I press a cold wolf nose to her, does she react at all?
Nope.
And I headbutt her.
She just kind of
Is the piano in this room?
Yes, it is still shattered, as you saw in your dream. And as you look over to the piano, you see a woman playing it somehow. She doesn't seem to have noticed you.
Going to take that locket and open up the mirror part of it. And I would like to try to start casting some magic.
I believe that is use magic, so roll plus weird.
Coming in real hot, y'all.
That's right, that's right.
10.
10. Okay.
What I would like to do is I would like to use this mirror as a focus. and create I would like to essentially copy its reflective properties to part of the wall. Kind of like a transmutation.
It works.
I would like to create that mirror facing that woman so that she has to stare into it.
She keeps on playing for a moment. And the playing gets louder and louder. And then you hear this shriek and this wail and this scream as she sees her reflection. And you see this woman's face, and it is elongated and torn in a massive scream. And she kind of just goes and turns towards you, and her claws sharpen, and she screams again, and she seems to have taken harm from this.
Yeah, there you are.
And she screeches at you and disappears from your view.
Going to say, don't worry, the doctor's in for a house call. I'm going to pull out my gun.
I'm going to sort of back up right next to Elias and just sort of...
Where's the music box?
I will hand it over to him.
I'm gonna crank it up and set it on the table.
As you do this, as you move your hand out to set it on the table, you see the claw appear and slash down on you. And I believe it does 2 harm.
Ah.
Oh no.
Is the music box playing?
The music box is not yet playing.
If
Almost like a mechanism is jammed in it.
Oh.
Oh shit.
I can try to fix it.
Can I help by keeping that hand away from him?
You can protect him, so roll plus tough.
Oh, well, is this helping? Because that would trigger my move. The power of heart.
Yeah, yeah, you know what? Help someone out.
So I automatically get a 10.
That is delightful.
That's good.
So your help grants +1 to their roll.
Good. And my plan here is basically to use my incorporealness to put my hand through the mechanism and kind of feel around, kind of thing. That makes sense.
I'm gonna say this is an act under pressure.
Okay.
So roll plus cool.
Jackson has helped me. He's helped me. Oh boy, howdy, folks. I don't know what that is. 9. Makes success.
9?
10.
Plus, so you got a 10 because Jackson helped you. So,
Awesome.
You do what you set out to do, and you begin to tinker and work on this. Meanwhile, Tori, you see a flicker of movement in the side of your vision, and then those claws come at you again. And they inflict 2 harm.
Ooh.
2 Tori?
I'm not able to do anything about it.
If you want to act under pressure, or if someone wants to protect her, they can.
I could try to act under pressure. I don't think that's gonna go well, but
I
we'll
would
see.
like to attempt to protect.
Oh.
So
I also saw it.
You would definitely see it. So you roll plus tough.
Ooh. Okay, that's a 6.
You
Dead experience.
You do. Unfortunately, you see it just too late to move, and don't protect her from the claws. And now her focus is on you, and she sees you, and her eyes glint, and she seems to recognize what you are, and she starts to scream.
No.
And you feel yourself being pulled into this abyss, and you can feel teeming with other souls.
No.
Meanwhile,
No, I want to interfere on that.
Go for it.
Am I rolling tough?
Yes.
12.
Oh. You and your character are both unharmed, so you manage to just grab Charlotte or just get her out of the way, shove this wraith creature, and as you shove her, the chain around your arm, around her arm, just goes through her, and she screeches again, and you inflict 2 harm on her.
Nice. So, did I take those the 2 harm earlier? Right, I did, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
All right.
When
howdy.
when I'm doing my tinkering, I would like to step in front of this temporary mirror I've created. That way, if she comes at me again, she's gonna have to look at her own reflection. So I'm doing that as I'm tinkering. I step in front of the mirror.
I would like to shift back to human.
Jackson shifts back to human. You finish this tinkering, and this music box pops open and starts playing the melody from before. And inside, you see a tiny picture, a faded brown one, of the family together.
Need that.
The picture?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it out and hold it up and gesture towards you.
Is she still in the room?
Yes.
And she's got chains. Are the chains still around her that Tori had?
Oh
No, Tori's chains were around her arm, I think. So when she thrust it in to try and shove her away, that's what harmed her.
I wanna, as a human, rush up, hand Tori the spike, and be like, might be better with those if we trade. Lasso her. Try to get the chains.
I just toss the chains up at him.
Turn the chains into an iron lasso.
Perfection.
I will grab the photo that Elias just handed me, and I'm gonna turn around and I will walk toward this creature, this wraith creature, and I'm gonna hold this up. And I'm gonna say, you don't have to do this.
She screeches at you again and goes towards you and reaches for you and sees the picture. And tilts her head. And she lets out this wail. And it's so sad. And you see her claws just go back into herself. And she transforms and shifts in front of you. And it's still this ghostly woman, but she looks like the woman in the picture. And she is just reaching for this picture but can't grasp it. And as she turns back, you feel the air around you lessen, and that pull that was trying to suck you and Elias when he was in his corporeal form in disappears. And you hear the sounds of breathing behind you as Maya and the 2 men at the table just and she's just still trying to grasp this picture.
My darling, you might want to come over here.
And Maya looks, and she stands up, and she turns, and she just... Mama? And she comes towards, and the woman is still trying to take this picture, and then Maya just reaches up and touches her face. And the woman turns to her, and you just hear this rattling breath go, "My baby."
You've come home. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't leave the house. I was too scared. Where have you been? And she just looks sad and tired and like an old woman. And Maya says, I am sorry for leaving you. I'm sorry for not talking to you. I didn't want you to look at me like I was a monster. And her mother just smiles and said, my baby, you're never a monster. You are so beautiful. And I love you. I think it's time for me to go now. I'm very, very tired. And I'm so sorry. So sorry. And Maya looks at her and I said, I love you, Mama. I love you too, my baby. And as she breathes out, all of the souls that you felt that were trapped within her just are released as tiny wisp like. And everything goes back into a normal state. And you're left in this room and it seems not so dark anymore.
Once the spell ends, the mirror, the locket and the mirror should resubstantiate. I'm gonna bring the locket over to Charlotte and hand it to Charlotte. I'm gonna look at Maya. Say, it looks like it's over. She's no longer an echo. She's no longer repeating what was done to her and her family. She's moved on. And you can too.
I think so. I think it's time for us to go home. And the man and younger man get up and they are rattled, but okay. And the entire place has just seemed to lift. And you enter outside and the sun is shining as dawn breaks on the house. And it glitters with a beautiful, beautiful glow. And you leave this mansion behind. And the first time since you arrived, everything feels peaceful. Just calm and at rest.
I'm gonna offer Maya a piggyback ride.
Maya is going to 100% take you up on that.
She is now very tall.
And she kind of grins down at you and says, we're giants now.
I'm always a giant, but just don't hit your head on no doors.
Go ahead.
Go.
Oh, I was just gonna say. No, you go ahead. Actually, you go ahead.
And as you walk out of this, you see a familiar figure bounding up to you. Of Penny Farthing. And she tips her hat at you and goes, hello.
Hello there, Penny.
Hello, ghost boy.
You look well rough. Do you want a drink?
I've never been one for liquor.
Oh, I'm only like 15. I can offer you milk.
Where? I'm gonna look at the other wolfies. Where do we go from? Where are you all going from here? Job's done.
Well, I'm stuck with Maya, so wherever she goes, I go.
And
Stuck. Oh, sorry, go.
And I'm stuck with Jackson, so wherever Jackson goes, I go.
Oh, then where are you going, Jackson?
Well, that's Miss Maya here mentioned heading home. And I got a hankering for home myself.
Oh.
But I think Miss Maya and I might need to talk about where home is.
Tori.
Tori is, I guess, shifted back, and well, first to get this shit taken care of, that hurt. But I don't know. My job's done. I guess back home. I don't have anything on my agenda. Why? Do you have something in mind?
Oh, heavens no. But I quite like London. I think there's people here I could learn from. So I think I'll be staying.
I need to at least get into a bar fight before I leave. Because this was this was just far too calm for my taste. I mean, I got to enact like no violence. What is this?
So, you guys all head off?
If Charlotte looks a little wary about the iron fence still, Tori's just going to pick her up and carry her over it.
You do it if Charlotte allows it.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I'm dead. I've been dead for a real long time. Sure.
So,
Makes you real light.
It does. Very light. I'm deceptively light.
almost spectral.
That's right.
So, you lift Charlotte up, and you go, and you end up. Penny Farthing takes you to a pub called the Sassy Badger, and just shows you inside, and you'll have a drink for a while, and everything is just calm.
Is there a harpsichord or like an old-timey piano in here?
There is absolutely.
I would love to sit down on that piano bench with Maya, and I'll probably take up like 3/4 of it, and she takes up the last fourth, and start playing some terrible Western saloon piano ditty. Possibly The Entertainer. I don't know.
What's that old ditty like the da 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 da? What is that, like Old My something? That's a good one.
You
Tell
play
me what
this,
you know.
and
Matthew is 1,000 years old.
Matthew
true.
is timeless, ageless.
Yep.
So you guys stop playing this tune, and everyone at the bar gets up to dance. It doesn't matter what it sounds like, they're all having a whale of a time. And I think we'll start to close our adventure. You guys got through everything really speedily and with a good pace. So
at a medium pace.
at a medium pace. And so I was about to say, I think this is about time for some epilogues for these characters. So we'll start with the clockwork rounds on my Twitch, which I have up. Let's start with the beloved Jackson.
Oh, all right. Well, I think the first thing that would happen would be Jackson would pull Maya aside and they would have a conversation. Because you see, Maya was talking to her mama about leaving because she was afraid she was a monster. And her mama was saying that she loved her anyway. And I think Jackson, who left his loved ones because he was afraid he was a monster, probably has been thinking about that a lot. And I think he's going to tell Maya goodbye and make his way back out west. I think he steps off a train station out there in Arizona, walks the miles and the sand and dirt and heat, opens the wooden fence to the cattle ranch and just looks around. Sees his two favorite people in the universe. Makes his way over, leans there against the fence, and when the horse comes to a slow and the smaller, slatter gentleman aboard lifts his hat and makes eye contact, Jackson just smiles and says, "Howdy, partner. I'm home."
And man looks at you and says, "Missed you real good, puppy."
I think that's Jackson's epilogue.
And we move to Charlotte.
So Charlotte is only here to function as sort of an assistant and guardian to the Fang. However, I think what she would probably do is she would try to spend some time using her sight to try and connect with other werewolves in London. She's here now. And I think she would try to find either like a sister pack of the Fangs and spend some time with them, or otherwise she would just sort of be a kind of a bit of a wanderer for a while. She had never been out. She was so young when she died that she had never seen too much of anything. Yes. And I think that yeah, I think that she would probably just wander for a while and try to see things and experience what she can, which is very little. But I think that was she would do that, and then eventually she would find her way back to the Fangs.
Awesome. You would definitely find a sister pack of the Fangs in London. The sprawling remains are the ones that didn't go to America. And you have this wandering journey. And with that, we move to Elias. What does Elias do in London?
The year is 1888, yes?
1891?
1891, that's right. Elias stays in London and finds himself a nice little apartment where he can do his studies. After being there for some time, since the year is in fact 1891, he starts hearing of about a string of murders in Whitechapel by a gentleman called Jack the Ripper. And he begins to try to hunt him down. He also spends his time learning from a royal physician about medicine and about magic. He's always searching for the truth of resurrection.
And as the murders from Jack the Ripper suddenly stop, you hear rumors about a strange, ghostly fellow that people in London swear took Jack the Ripper down, but no one quite knows if it's true. And with that, we go to Tori.
Tori has some itches to scratch before she heads home. She hangs out with Charlotte for a while. They get to know each other. She gets into a few brawls and some bars, and she makes her way drinking and screwing through the town for a while, and then she will eventually make her way home. Probably helps Charlotte out if she needs anything, but eventually she heads back home.
And with Tori getting into a bar fight during
several.
Jackson and Maya's harpsichord off. And during all of these epilogues of all these people who have come together, we start to slowly pan out. And we leave a bunch of werewolves still in London. For now. Alrighty then. Did not put any like happy-ish music into this. And I was like, I have no epilogue music for this.
It's
No
fine.
happy
We're all
ending.
fine here.
So yes, that was the two-parter, A Bunch of American Werewolves in London, a Monster of the Week game. I'm going to spin it over to the players, who again were amazing in the session. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Let's start with Alexis. Want to introduce yourself, your favorite moment, anything you want to promote?
Hi, I'm Alexis. You can find me at Vox Fanato on the Twitter sphere, the internets, that sort of thing. Let's see, start with favorite moment. My favorite moment. I loved when Elias did magic with that mirror.
Hell yeah.
That was frickin' great, and I loved everything about it. I also really loved, I'm doing a two-parter. I also really loved when Maya was like strangely wondering who Elias was, and then Jackson's trying to say like, oh, he's harmless. I'm like, yeah, no, he's not though. Tori's like, nope, you're misreading that situation entirely. And then Elias following up with being a complete creep.
It's like
Proving Tori 100% right. Just
Elias.
Promote wise, I am part of Dice Priori. That's where you can find me most of the time. I do a lot of graphic design for them, and I also for us, and I am running a charity one-shot set in Tal'Dorei this coming Wednesday. We have a fantastic lineup of players. Please go check that out on the Twitter sphere. Follow us on our channel and show up for that. We are raising money for first responders and their families through the Feel Good Foundation. So that will be on Dice Priori at 7 p.m. Central on Wednesday. And I also do an art stream every Monday and Friday, so you can catch me doing that tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central. This was a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Val.
Thank you. And with that, we move to Matthew.
Hey, that's me. I am Matthew Foreman. I'm at Matthew W. Foreman on Twitter. I am a D&D, content creator and tabletop gaming content creator. My favorite moment from tonight. I think I really like Jackson's epilogue quite a fucking lot. What I always do too. And then Val's whole description of that conclusion was pretty fucking awesome. I'm greedy. I like to describe all the things.
Yeah.
Elephants.
And as far as promo, I will actually be running it looks like a Monster of the Week tomorrow on Dice Priority for so Big Boy Season's having some schedule conflicts, so I'm using 3 of the players that are going to be there for Big Boy Season. I'm going to introduce them to the Monster of the Week because I don't think they've ever played it. It'll be my first
Yay.
time running. That'll be tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. CDT. And that one's going to be set in a lonely mountain town, and it's going to be about how time takes everything from people.
Oh,
That's on
Matthew.
Yep.
God damn it.
Coming in real hot.
Jeez.
Boy, howdy. Oh, that's gonna be so good. And I think you've moved to Emma.
Hello. You can find me at MK Hansen on Twitter. I live here like a lot of the time. Oh no, let me do my favorite moment first. Hold please. Okay. Shit. Let's see. I think that probably oh, this is really hard. The moment
Just list like 8 of them. That's what we all do anyway.
I know. The moment, Val, this is really great. The moment that I know that Matthew said like that closing sort of like scene, like that made me cry. Holy shit. That image of all of those souls leaving just got me. And it got Charlotte because she could feel them, and that was a lot. That scene, I really enjoy hearing Tori and Jackson's shapeshift moments. I feel like those were really awesome. And the way that they sort of functioned when they were in their wolf forms. I thought that was really great. I really, really, really enjoyed those a lot. Boy howdy, I don't know, it was all great. This is fucking awesome.
So good.
Okay. Yeah, it was really great. The music was on point. That damn music box. That magic was so cool. Okay,
And
sorry.
that one shift when you were describing and like Jackson was talking about a noise.
Oh my god, y'all. It was just so good. It was just all really great. Okay, so I live here a lot. There will be no Hellbind this Monday, but then we will return with Hellbind the following week. And on Tuesdays you can find me over on Dice Priority and for Dragon Heisters. And this weekend we have the finale of Goth Brunch. 12 p.m. noon Sunday is the finale of this, possibly just an arc. We don't know yet, but it will be the finale nonetheless. We're facing off our big bad, so come join us for that. And then at 6 p.m., same day, return for Monster Hearts, which is a thing. Boy, it's so dramatic. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of sex. It's great. It's monster stuff. It's really cool. And tomorrow you can find me on the Mythos Mystery Society for Teens in Space. It's gonna be fine, I think. I will be playing a really big bird lady named Talos. So please come for that. At least for me. So that'll be fun. And that's all. There's a bunch of shit coming up for me too. So stay tuned. Thanks.
And it was also moved to Anders.
Hello, I'm Anders. My favorite moment, I'm going to specifically say 2 things that Val did that made me just, and they were both music going into narration moments where like the music shifted, and it was when Maya got grabbed, that first moment when it all got cold and Maya got pulled out, and then when the mom on the piano was playing and turned around and saw herself in the mirror, and the music became that like piercing background track. It was just like, yeah, there was some nerves. Someone in chat even noticed. That got me a little bit. So yeah, Val, those were just incredible and great, and you did an incredible job the whole time. You can find me on Twitter at Anders_D_K for things that I do. It's Rainbow Jam. I wrote a game. It's done, but the art's not done yet, but the text version is done. So as soon as I get that uploaded to Itch, I wrote a game and you can go on Itch and you can play it. That's really weird to say, but I did it. That's the thing I did. Yeah, that's oh, and Monster Hearts on Sunday. I'm gonna kill werewolves instead of beat them. Maybe. We'll
Oh
see.
my. We don't know. We don't know. And I am Val. I am the nerdy niffler. My favorite moment is a cheat thing because my favorite moment was the players just being the players and the characters that they bring. And that moment when you all were exploring the manor and you were all working together and you were protecting each other. Then Elias moved in front of the mirror, so it was like, ha 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 ha, you'll have to attack yourself, you won't attack me, which is a really, really nice moment. I also loved Jackson's relationship with Maya. It was just a really nice bond that was in that. I'm cheating too and doing 8. It's fine.
It was a great session. This was
Yeah.
a great game.
It was so good. Can I just say the whole thing was my favorite?
I was like,
All of it.
all of this was my I got very lucky by having amazing players agree to join me on my first DMing scene, and I'm very grateful for y'all for being a part of this and taking this journey with me. So yeah, I cheat because every moment's my favorite. Werewolves, thank you so much for letting me DM and giving me a platform to DM on stream for the first time. It's been amazing. As Emma was saying, there is, I believe, community slots that start on Saturday. That's run by Nox, and I think they're at 1 p.m. EST. And then we have Goth Brunch on Sundays from 12 EST. I'm doing all of them are in British time in my head, so at 5 p.m. BST there will be things. And then Monster Hearts, where maybe there will be werewolf coming after. We don't know. We might film an alliance. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Which is just a mess of a game. And I'm trying to remember the other stuff because
So
There's a lot happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Monday is 5
Oh.
p.m. There's the Salt Marsh games. And then there's also From Us Came Dusk on Tuesdays.
Yep.
And Thursdays there's also a Haunted Whisper, which is happening 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Friday, 5 p.m. Courts of Shadowfey, which I believe was mentioned earlier. And then we also have the Dresden Files, which will be starting 8 p.m. I believe Adam is running that. Is that right? I think
Yes.
Adam's
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah, so the Saturday Indie Showcase is at 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm not sure what game is happening this weekend. I know that I'll be on that at some point, running some lesbian snake stuff, which will be fun.
Oh, hey.
Yes.
And then we've got As the Suns Burn, 8 p.m. Please watch that if y'all are not. It was wild last time. I don't know how this is gonna play out. Matthew was there. It's a lot. It was a lot of stuff that happened. And also 8:30 p.m. Sunday, Fight for What You Believe, which is a Burning Wheel game run by Corey, and it was phenomenal. If you didn't see the premiere, it was so good. So there's a lot of stuff. Definitely make sure to subscribe or at least follow here on Twitch. Check Variant Rolls out over on Twitter. Yeah.
Just watch. There's so much good content. There's so much good content being made by awesome
So
folks
much.
at Variant Rolls, at Dice Priory, and it's just an awesome community, and just awesome. I'm really excited, and also this was like a lot of things. So I'm like, yes, okay, emotions running high. So we'll say
Stick with us, we're
goodbye.
gonna raid. Woo!
Yes.
Stick with us. We're gonna raid.
We're gonna go raid,
I
and
believe-
thank you so much, Val.
Thank you so much, everyone who joined us in chat, and we are going to raid now. Thank you so much. Oh, and thank you so much to Alexis for running tech.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, we had some hiccups, but I'm glad to do it. All right. We love you all. Thank you, everybody.